Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing two arcs that I recently read. Both of these books are already out, published. They are available for you to purchase if they sound good to you. I am just going to tell you guys right up front, I enjoyed both of these books. I rated them both 4 stars. They are two totally different books, so I like them for two totally different reasons. So we are just going to go ahead and jump right into the spoiler-free review for both of these books. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. This is one of my most anticipated reads for this year, and it did not disappoint. I would technically consider this adult because even though we are following some young characters, they are definitely dealing with some adult themes, but it is also considered historical fiction and horror. So in this, it takes place in 1950s Florida, and we are following two main characters. So we have Gloria, who's the older sister, she's around 16, and then her younger brother, Robert, who is around 12. So at the beginning, Gloria and Robert, they're walking to school and they start getting harassed by their white neighbor. And Robert does not like how this neighbor is talking to Gloria, and so he decides to kick him. Well, because we are in 1950s Florida, that is not the thing to do. A black boy kicking a white boy is a no-go. So Robert gets sent to the courthouse, and then he gets sentenced to 6 months to this all-boys school called the Reformatory. Now, this is not a place anyone wants to get sent to, and primarily black young boys are getting sent there, and then poor young white boys are getting sent there, and horrific things happens to anyone who gets sent there. Even the people that are working there, eventually they kind of start to change, and they're definitely not the same people they were before. So Robert gets sent there, and his sister Gloria is devastated. She does not want him to go there. She feels like she has not done her job as a big sister because they technically are on their own. Their mother had passed away from cancer, and then their father fled the state of Florida to live in Chicago because of some rumors about him raping a white woman, so he had to get out of town. So we are following Robert at the start of his 6-month sentence at the Reformatory, and we start to see how he is treated at this place and how other boys are treated. And then we learn that when you are in this town, it's called Gracetown, but specifically at the Reformatory, these young boys start to see ghosts, but they're considered haints in the story. And so Robert starts to see these haints, and then he gets this specific job to try and catch these haints for this horrible warden. So aside from watching Robert spend his time at this place, we are then following Gloria, who is basically doing all she can do to try to get Robert out of this place. She is going to different people that she knows. She's trying to find a lawyer. She's trying to get help with the lawyer, trying to talk to the judge. So she's basically trying to save her brother, and that's basically what this story is. I really enjoyed it. This is my first book by Tananarive Due, and it definitely will not be my last. I loved the relationship between Robert and his sister because it is just them. They have to depend on each other. They have to rely on each other. And I really liked Gloria because she has taken on like this mother figure, and she wants to protect her brother. I also really felt bad for Robert and everything that he experienced during his time at the Reformatory. He has to do everything that he can do to survive. He has to try and not be punished because the punishments are horrific at this place. And I just really loved how, even though they were separated, it kind of felt like they were still connected because Robert just knew that his sister was gonna try and get him out of there. I also kind of liked, even though we didn't see him but like one time, but there was a lot of talk of their father. He was painted as his villain because, like I mentioned in the beginning, they claimed that he raped this white woman, but he also did a lot of good for the black people in that town, which a lot of the white people did not like. They did not like, you know, him stirring up these black people and wanting to have them get the rights that they were deserved. So even though people tried to villainize him, he actually did a lot of good. And so Robert and his sister are trying to live up to the name of their father, because everybody knows who they are because of their father. There was also another character that I liked, which is, her name was Miss Lottie. To me, she came off as like a grandmother figure to Gloria and Robert, but she was technically, I think, like their godmother. But I loved her character because she kind of just reminded me of my own grandmother, in the sense that she was not doing well health-wise, but she was always looking after them and making sure that they had their basic necessities, since they didn't have their father around. And during the course of the story, even though she was like on her last leg, she was doing everything that she could to help both Gloria and Robert. I also just liked the overall story and us following Robert at this reformatory. Like I said, it is not a pleasant place to stay. There are some content warnings for, racism. There's a lot of segregation in this book because, again, it's in 1950s Florida. There is talk of rape, sexual assault, child abuse. So if any of those are sensitive subjects for you, you might want to steer clear from this. But otherwise, I just liked the overall story. The reason why I've decided to rate this 4 stars and not 5 is because I did think that there were a few pacing issues with this. I read this on my Kindle because I did say that I got an arc of it, and I think it was like over 500 pages, and I honestly just did not think this needed to be that long. There were definitely some scenes in here that I just felt like dragged out too much. There was like a lot of conversations in certain scenes that I don't think, would be a time for people to be trying to have conversations. So I just thought parts of this were just a little drawn out, but the overall story I really did enjoy. And like I said, this will not be the last book that I read from Tananarive Due. So the other book that I want to talk about is The Good Part by Sophie Cousens. So we are switching gears completely because this is a adult fiction, magical realism, romance story. So I have read one other book by this author. I think I read it last year during Christmas. It was called This Time Last Year. I gave that one 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. And as we can see, I enjoyed this one as well. So this one follows our main character, Lucy, and she is 26. I think she works at a TV station. She's like a TV researcher. She's in that field and she is struggling. She doesn't make a lot of money. She's not happy about where she is in her career. She's living in a flat with 4 other people and she doesn't like it, and she's just not having a good time. So one night, after she kind of gets into an argument with her best friend, after she ends like a horrific online date that she had, she ends up going to this like news agent stand thing. And in the back of it was this machine that was called a wishing machine. So she went up to it, she used it, and she said that she wants to be transported to the good part of her life. Well, she wakes up, 16 years have passed, and she wakes up to this strange man who she finds out is her husband, Sam. She realizes that she has 2 young kids, and she learns that technology has advanced really fast in this world, and she has a great career. So everything that she basically wanted, she now has, but she has it and doesn't know what to do with it. So we follow Lucy as she is trying to get used to this life that she wants but doesn't want, because she realizes now that she has skipped the best years of her life. And so we watch her as she is trying to figure out if she wants to stay here or if she should go and try to find this machine so she can go back to being 26. I had a really, really fun time with this one. I thought parts of it were freaking hilarious. Her just trying to learn things about people, like her trying to figure out what she should and shouldn't know about her husband. She doesn't really know what to do with kids. So the fact that she has 2 young kids, she is like all out of sorts. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She doesn't know what's going on at her job. So when people are asking her questions, she's just like clueless. She's like, I don't know. I really thought her son Felix was hilarious because when he sees her that first morning, he knows something is off. He knows that his mother isn't acting like she normally does. And he tells her that she's an alien. And he wants her to go back to the planet she came from and bring back his real mother. So already, Felix kind of knows what's happening. And then she eventually has to tell like her husband Sam and some of her friends because she just can't remember anything. And that's kind of hard to play off. And immediately people are trying to send her to the doctor to get tests run, and nobody can find anything wrong. So they kind of just say that she has temporary memory loss and her memories will start to come back. So I really thought this book was hilarious. I also just feel like it touched on a lot of important things like appreciating where you are currently in your life and not to be so upset over any of the mistakes that you've made because they will help you know what to do in the future. It also just kind of made me think to just appreciate people in your life because you never know, how long they're gonna be there, and to just appreciate the small moments and make sure you try and remember those. I just thought this book made you think about life in general, and it does have a bit of a romance in it because Lucy and her husband have to sort of learn each other again, and they're both kind of trying to be like respectful of others because she thinks it feels weird to, like kiss or have sex with a man she technically doesn't know. And then he kind of feels weird because she acts like she doesn't know him. So it's kind of weird for both of them, but I really like Sam and the fact that he is so patient with her and so willing to try to make her remember. And I just like seeing them kind of get to know each other a little bit more, and he is enjoying her because she's acting different. He's like seeing a different side of his wife that he is starting to enjoy and appreciate. So I really like the dynamic between them. And overall, I just really enjoyed this story. So like I said before, I read arcs of these, but these books are out and available. You can purchase them. So if they sound good to you, and I hope that they do because these are good books, I hope that you would check these out. But that is actually all that I have for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.